Welcome back to the Gina Gasolina Show on the third episode of my podcast. And I'm so excited for today's show because today I'm going to talk about all things Keith Urban. Who doesn't love Keith Urban? I love Keith Urban. I love his music. I love his body. So bad. No, it's not. Who cares? I am a huge Keith Urban fan. I can't tell you, I've probably seen Keith Urban perform, I'm going to say at least 10 times. And that's over the course of since probably 2007. So maybe that's not a lot, but it is a lot. And I've actually gotten so close to Keith Urban that I've touched Keith Urban. And so I'm going to tell you a couple stories. So my love for Keith Urban started with my sister-in-law, and she's a huge country music fan. And I was in the country, but I didn't really know much about Keith Urban. And she introduced me to him, and I immediately fell in love with Keith Urban. His voice, his songs, his emotional depth when he's singing. Like, this is when he was single. I think he had just come out of a bad breakup long before his breakup with Nicole Kidman, which is a whole other story, but whatever. And I'm wearing my Keith Urban shirt. Any of my viewers that can't see me right now, but I have on my High and Alive shirt that my good friend Suzanne made for me. Shout out to my good buddy Suzanne. I love her. And she's an amazing lady. Anyway, so we went to see Keith somewhere in Toronto. My God, he's such a great performer live, and he's only gotten better over the years. If you've never seen Keith Urban, I highly recommend you get yourself to one of his concerts, especially now. Like, his sound is so finely tuned. Now, he just recently changed up his whole band, which I'm not really sure what the whole situation was there, but he went through a lot of changes in the last year. Irregardless of anything, he's a fantastic performer. And what a guitar player. Wow. I mean, he makes love to that guitar. Let me tell you. I mean, watching him play, and he's been, again, somebody else who just followed his passion. There's tons of video out there of him being a little kid, being on stage and performing. And, when you perform that long, you become the expert at it. And so it's no wonder he is where he is now. I mean, he did American Idol for a while. He was a judge on there. He's got his own show with Blake Shelton now. I think it's called On the Road. I haven't seen it, but I can only imagine it's great. And done tons of other things, obviously. There's so much more about Keith that I don't know, but should learn about. And I will. But now I'm going to tell you some stories about me and Keith. One year when Keith Urban was going to play at Boots and Hearts in Barrie, just past Barrie in Ontario. A very famous country festival. They have all kinds of artists from all across North America, and they come and they perform. And Keith was the headliner that year. And I was bound and determined to get tickets to this concert, and I just had to do it. I don't know what came over me, and I've seen him before, but I just was like, no, I have to see him at this concert. So I was manifesting this. I was trying to get tickets, and they were, a little pricey, but because it's a 3-day event, right? Now you don't have to go to all the shows. You can buy a one-night ticket or whatever, but it was this whole event where if you've never been to Boots and Hearts, so they take this basic vacant field and people just pitch their tents, or you can go to the section where there's trailers, but you can't have fires. You can't have any campfires at night. And I think you're allowed to have a barbecue because I know that we had one. We were cooking up spaducci for people around us. It was great, but you can't have campfires. So basically they want you to be lights out. But it was also freezing at night because it's up north, and at nighttime it can be blazing hot in the day, but at night, wow, did the temperature drop, and not good. So anywho, back to me getting the tickets. So I don't know, I must have tried lots of things, and there's this poster up. Now I have pictures of it. If I can find them, I'll try and add them here after. But there was a convenience store very close to where I used to live that had the poster up, and it was of him and Luke Bryant, who's also great, but I really love Keith. And I just got my boyfriend at the time to take a picture of me standing there next to this poster of Keith. And I was like posing with him, and I was kissing him. And I mean, I was really manifesting getting these tickets to Keith Urban. And whatever, we were just fooling around. And then it kept getting closer and closer to the concert. And I think I went on Kijiji. I'm like, I'm going to find some tickets. And I came across, there's probably a couple people selling them, but I came across this one guy, And I was a little leery of buying anything off Kijiji like that because I had to meet the person and, it's always weird, right? So I answered this ad and the guy was selling these tickets and he was selling me the 3-day tickets for like $350. And I think they were at $1,000 at the time because it was for the 3 whole days. And I paid less than $400 for these tickets for two tickets, not just one, 2 tickets. So I go and I meet this guy, and it's a daddy. He was a bit older than me, maybe. Anyway, he bought them for his daughter. His daughter, I think, maybe was in her 20s. And I guess all her friends bailed on her at the last minute, and she didn't want to go by herself. So he said, "Okay, well, I'll sell them and get the money back." So I met up with him at a parking lot, a grocery store parking lot, and he comes out and he tells me the story. That's how I heard the story. And I was like, well, they're going to somebody that's very appreciative and thank you so, so much. And I gave him the money. It was the best money I ever handed over to a stranger in my life. Not that I do that very often, probably never. And anyway, we went, my boyfriend and I, and we were the oldest people there. Clearly, I was 45, maybe 46. It doesn't matter. 45, 46. And we go and we snuck some liquor in. You weren't supposed to bring any liquor, but everybody does because they want you to buy their liquor, right? Anyway, so we go, and this is a crazy experience for us. I've never gone to I've been to music festivals before, but they weren't as strict as that. Number 1. 2, you were allowed to have fires. 3, it was all people my own age. So the last time I probably did that was in New Brunswick when they would do okay. I went to see Milli Vanilli. That's a whole other episode. But this was back in the day. Parley Beach, that's where they would have these concerts. This is when they were kind of just starting, I think, or maybe I didn't know about them until then, but it was one of the very first outdoor concerts. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. So we go to this concert and we start setting up and we start to realize we're kind of like the oldest people there because it's all young 20-year-olds, like 20 something is like 20-year-old girls with their skimpy Daisy Dukes on. And the guys are like, yeah, guys are crushing beers and we're like, whatever, who cares? We just start drinking and we're digging the vibe of the place. Everybody is so happy. By the way, if you've never been to a country concert, I'm telling you, it is the happiest crowd of people you will ever be around. It's the best energy, like indoor, outdoor, it doesn't matter. I'm telling you, you don't regret it. Anyway, so it's the middle of the afternoon and we're singing, we're dancing, we're jiving with people. And all of a sudden, these 2 kids come along. And I call them kids because they're 20 and I'm in my 40s, right? And they're dressed with these cowboy boots on, 2 guys. And they got jean shorts on and cowboy hats. And they come up to us and they go, do you want VIP? And like, we've been drinking, right? And it's been a hot day. And we're like, yeah, we want VIP. And my boyfriend at the time was like, yeah. And I'm like, I start listening to them because we think this is just a joke, right? There's 2 guys hammered at the concert like us. And because the concert hasn't happened yet, right? So there's acts going on, but we didn't want to see them. So we were waiting for Keith to come on and some other people. Anyway, so in the interim, we're back there partying and these 2 guys come up to us and they say all that. And then my brain starts to go, I think they actually have tickets they're giving away, like VIP section. So I go, are you asking us if we want tickets to the VIP section? They're like, yeah, you guys look like you have great energy. We're giving away tickets. I'm like, hell yeah. So they gave us VIP tickets, which gave us access to front of the stage with Keith Urban. Oh my God. I'd never been so close to him at this point. I'd seen him before, but I was always way up, like probably in the bleachers or whatever in indoor concerts. So we got those. And I think they gave us we got the wristbands and we had access to the VIP lounge and all that stuff. Well, we were on cloud 9 and, oh my God, that just, it just set the tone, right? So anyway, day goes on. We're partying. All these kids, again, there's kids are and I'm saying kids because I don't think 40-year-olds would do this. I mean, I was ready to participate, but whatever, I didn't because no. But they had slip and slide set up. They're some kids were going by. I don't know what they were doing driving. I hope the person driving was sober, but they were in a contained field, whatever. They had a shower hooked up. People were getting showers on the back of these trucks. I mean, you name it, it was going on. And anyway, as the day progressed, we weren't really paying attention, but a tornado was heading our way. Wasn't looking at my phone. We were just digging and it was a beautiful sunny day. You wouldn't have known it was coming. And All of a sudden, the sky, this is still, again, long before Keith Urban comes on. Now, this is a good story. So I'm getting to the Keith part. Don't worry. But all of a sudden, the sky started getting really dark and the wind started picking up and it literally hit us so fast. And I've never been outside during something like that in my life. Oh, I mean, it literally, the winds, the rain started coming down. There was hail. Everybody went into their tents. Everybody like just hightailed it, which is probably the worst place you can be, but didn't really know that this was a tornado coming and a storm. So all of a sudden we're sitting and we're like laughing because we're like, what is happening? Right. My phone rings. I answer. It's my brother. And he's like, are you okay? Now he lived in Barrie, which is about, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes away from where we were. He's like, it's a hurricane's coming, a storm, a tornado's coming. I'm like, what are you talking about? We're at Keith Urban. He's like, are you drunk? I go, yes, clearly I'm drunk. What do you want? He's like, Gina, you've got to get to protection. You've got to go somewhere safe. I'm like, oh, okay, I hung up. So I think we probably went to the car and, because there's rubber on the car, the tires, whatever, safer place to be. And we waited it out. But it was bad. And we did not know if Keith was going to come on. And this was the most disappointing thing, right? We go for Keith. He's not even going to come on. So all these acts did not come on. So I don't know what time, but smaller artists, not as well-known artists, were performing throughout the day. And we walked up there a couple times. My boyfriend's cousin was there, so we went up to her trailer and stuff. This is long before the rain started. And so we were checking out the venue. There's all kinds of stuff going on. We went back probably to eat, and then that's when the tornado kind of came through and the rain and everything. But it's the lightning. When there's lightning, I mean, you're not supposed to do anything, right? Play baseball, sports, nothing, right? Especially with all that electrical equipment. Anyway, so it kind of died down, I don't know, let's say maybe around 8 o'clock. I can't remember exactly the time. And we decide that's it. We're going to go. We're going to walk up there because we still don't know what's going on. We don't get any communication. All we heard, I think they might have made some kind of announcement or somebody was coming around. I have no idea, but word came to us that the concert was off, but they weren't 100% sure. So we make our way up to the stage. Now, it was probably a good 30 minutes from where we were camping because we had to walk up to the stage because we were in the tenting section. And it was muddy as all hell because so much rain came down. And it was just, there wasn't much grass in this place. It was a lot of mud, right? And as soon as that rain comes down, you know what happens. Anyway, we don't care. We go up and we stake our spot. We're at the front of the line, the front of the VIP section because they're not letting anybody in yet, right? And no one still knows if Keith's going to come on because nobody has performed in the last couple hours. And then finally they say, okay, Keith's going to come on. And we're like, yes. So they let us in and we go right up to the front. Okay, let's be serious. We stopped to get a drink, as you would. Might have had a couple. And still, no Keith, no Keith, no Keith. It's raining on and off. There's a few lightning strikes. Like, gosh, it might not happen. It might not happen. And then finally, boom, 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 the guitar starts and Keith comes out in Keith fashion. Oh my God, it was awesome. And Keith came out and he said, I didn't think you guys, he was so happy that we all stayed to watch him perform. He was actually the genuine guy that he is. He was genuinely happy to have us there. And he wasn't going to leave. Like he came on, I think he came on to like 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'm not joking. And as he was performing, the rain started coming down and I've got pictures of that too. He's still playing in the rain. Like what an artist, right? Because he could have just said, no, I'm not going to do it. But nope, he loves his fans. He delivered. But in that time, I had to go to the bathroom, right? And we're at the front. So I was very happy to be VIP. There's thousands. I turn around and I look and there's thousands of people behind me. And I look at my boyfriend and I go, oh my God, I'm never going to make it. I'm not going to make it to the bathroom. I'm never going to make it back to the spot. What do I do? So God love my boyfriend. He turns to me and he goes, babe, just lean up against me and let it go. And I go, no, I can't. He's like, you're going to have to. You're not going to make it. You're not going to make it back here anyway. So just do it. And I kept almost going, no, I can't. There was all these people around us. Now, mind you, we're standing in a puddle of water and Trust me, I wasn't the only person that did it. So eventually I just had to. I mean, my bladder was starting to hurt. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. Anybody, when you have to pee, you have to pee. Oh, I just leaned up against him, just like the Keith Urban song, Lean on Me. And I did. I pissed on my boyfriend. God love him. I don't think I would have done that with anybody else, but I had no choice. I think I probably squatted a little bit. I did squat. I squatted down, but maybe I didn't. Anyway, there was a girl next to me. I know she had just done it too. Whatever. It was all in Keith fashion, and that was all for the love of Keith. And kind of a gross story, but kind of a funny story too, because I didn't lose my spot. And the lesson I learned from that, when you're at an outdoor concert and you can't get to a bathroom easily, don't drink so much. Don't drink so much that you can't go to the washroom and get back quickly. That was my lesson. Lesson learned. But who can say that they peed in front of Keith Urban? I know that might sound weird. I think it's effing hilarious, and I think it's a great story. So now my next Keith Urban story is this. So Keith was performing at Budweiser Stage in Toronto, and I have gotten VIP tickets again this time. That I purchased them well in advance. But this is, again, here we go, before COVID, before everything went up in price. And I didn't really pay that much. I think I paid $110 each for these tickets. Now, those tickets now are $1,000. Trust me, they're $1,000 now. So I paid $110 each for these tickets, and I was so excited. You know, we get there, and if you've never been to Budweiser Stage, what a fantastic venue that is too. It's all rake seating, so there's seats, but then the back is all on this hill. And that's where all the partiers go. And those tickets is general admission. It's like, they used to be $50. I think they're, depending on the hours, they're between 50, 60, because it's just a shit show back there. But it's what a party, because there's a bar at the very top of the hill where you can go get drinks, or you can go wherever you want. You just can't go down to where the seats are. Except for I did, because I have that power within me. Anyway, great spot. And we're down there. It's a great concert. Keith's there. He's singing. And then at some point, Keith decides he's going to go out into the audience. And I'm like, oh my God. And like, we were like, there's a bar, like a railing, right? That's the distance between the stage and where we were standing. And he's coming down. And I'm like, oh my God, this is my chance. This is my chance. Now, I've seen Keith many times between the last story I told you and this day. And this was not that long ago. This might have been 6 years ago. And so he's coming along, and he's coming along. And I look at my boyfriend, and I'm like, I go, should I do it? Should I do it? Like, I just wanted to, reach out and touch him. And he's like, yeah, man, do it. And I'm like, no, I can't. I got scared. So I kind of was just hesitantly putting my hand out. And then all of a sudden I felt this shove behind me. And my boyfriend, same boyfriend, shoves me into Keith. And my hands literally land on Keith's chest like this. And he kind of jumps back and goes, oh, and I go, oh, and in my head, all I can think of, oh my God, it's nicer than I ever imagined. He's so tight. And it was the best thing in the world. I couldn't believe it. And I turned and looked at the girl next to me, and she also had done this similar thing where she grabbed his hand. And I looked at my hand. She looked at her hand, where he said, I'm never washing my hand again. I was like a little teenage girl at the Beatles back in the day. And yes, I'm dating myself, although I was not around when the Beatles were out. I was born in the 70s. But I can only imagine, like, that was the level of joy and authenticity and like just excitement. But yeah, the look on his face was like, oh, I must have grabbed a little hard. But he pushed me into him, and I didn't really have a choice. And it was a good thing. I'm not going to say it was a bad thing at all. And I am telling you, I was on cloud nine. And also at that same concert, I believe, and it might have been another one, we had our Boots and Hearts trucker hats on that we had gotten at that concert, the first one I was telling you about. And it's when he first came out that night, he's like giving shout outs to people. He's like, Boots and Hearts. I love Boots and Hearts. That's my terrible Australian accent. But we were the only ones wearing them, so he recognized us. We were having like a lot of connection, a lot of energetic connection with him. And also, I think at the end, like after all that, or maybe it was before, he was signing things. My boyfriend at the time threw his hat up on the stage, and Keith picked it up and he signed it. So like, wow, the both of us had so much connection with Keith that time. And then My most recent experience with Keith Urban was this past summer, which was in June of 2025. I was trying so hard to get tickets, to win tickets, because I didn't have any money, um, not much money for the tickets. They're really expensive now. So I was trying to win them on the radio. Now, there's a station here called KX 94.7. So they were giving away tickets. And so the night before, you had to, like, I think it was text in or something. And then they would say they would call you in the morning and just be listening randomly, right? So I send my thing in and I get a text back saying, listen tomorrow between X amount of time and X amount of time, and you could win tickets. So I get up and I look at my phone, but I got up late and there was a text there because I had my phone on airplane mode. And I was so mad. I'm like, oh my God, I missed it. They actually would have called me to get the tickets. I blew it. I was so mad at myself. Like, I was that close to getting Keith tickets for free. And he had just played at the Horseshoe Tavern in Toronto as well, a concert, an impromptu concert that he had done. So I missed that too. I was trying to win tickets for that. So I was just still bound and determined to get these tickets. So when they actually went on sale, when he announced he was gonna perform at Budweiser Stage again, I was trying to get tickets. And listen, trying to get tickets online these days for concerts is like insane through Ticketmaster. Like, you have to be some kind of computer genius to get through, because they sell out like literally within like 30 seconds. It's insane. Anyway, my girlfriend back home had gotten through. Suzanne, my good friend who made my shirt, or I think, no, we both got through, but her husband is actually part of Keith Urban's fan club. So he ended up getting VIP tickets that he paid a good dollar for. But again, we were down in the front. So we were VIP again. And this time we got swag with these tickets, right? And I'm sorry if you're not watching me, but I have a bag. It's a Keith Urban bag. And this is what we got. It's from the High and Alive tour. We got shoes. Look, there's my wristband, the VIP, the pit. See, it even says the pit on it, but turn around. It says the pit. And then we got these shoes. Look at these Keith Urban shoes. How cool are these? And they say High and Alive on them. High. Oh, and then there's the heart on the back of his, let me just show you that a little better. But this is the colors of his tour. This little heart. And they're Converse. And if you know anything about Keith Urban, he does his song about wearing the Converse. And anyway, I'm so happy to have those. And I wore them. Not everybody was wearing theirs. I don't know why everybody else I was with didn't, but maybe they didn't fit their feet quite well. But mine hurt a little bit, but I didn't care. I was like, I'm living my Keith Urban moment. I'm going to give everything Keith. And wow, what a performance he put on that show. And so again, because we were front row, this time I wasn't behind a barrier. Like, I was right at the stage, like right. And I have video and I have pictures of it. Like I said, I'll try and maybe attach some of them. Not sure if I can do that, but we'll see. Anyway, this time I kept grabbing his legs because he kept coming out down the front there. And I was just like, I mean, I don't care. I'm going to be that girl. I'm going to be that fan. I wasn't the only one doing it. So I didn't feel like I was some crazy psycho fan. But I just was like grabbing his legs anytime we get like, Keith, we love you, Keith. And we made a sign. And wow, those are my Keith moments. I mean, I'm sure you can hear in my voice my enthusiasm, how much I love Keith Urban. But honest to God, I don't think I've ever gotten that close to any of my musical heroes ever. Not at all. And I love Keith. Like, I mean, I love him. Love him. Love, love, love. Keith Urban, if you're listening, I'm a huge fan. I'm the girl that groped you. Yes, it's true. Sorry. I apologize, but damn, you're good. And I'm sure I'm going to do it again. And yeah, just I can't help but laugh. I'm crazy. I'm crazy when it comes to Keith Urban. Who isn't crazy when it comes to Keith Urban? And like I said, he puts on an amazing show. He is so gifted, so talented. And I don't say that lightly about people. I really don't, because I think a lot of people get kudos for being performers and they're beige, or they're they have a lot of fillers. They have a lot of background vocals helping them out. Nah. And Keith, sometimes his voice hasn't been the best. I mean, one time I saw him, he had just had his vocal surgery, and I said, God, I hope he gets his voice back. And he has, man. He is bang on the best. So to end this podcast, I recommend to anybody, whether you're a country fan or not, get out there, see Keith Urban at least once in your life. You will not regret it. He's an amazing talent. He has amazing energy. And if you can be like me and you can get close enough to it, I highly, highly, highly encourage it. Although Keith might not like it, but it's all for fun, Keith. It's not to be, you know. Okay, guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed listening to my podcast. I told you this podcast is going to be about a lot of different things. I just thought I'd share my love for Keith Urban with you. There's a few other stories, but we'll get to those another day. Anyway, guys, peace out. Enjoy your life. Have a great day.